Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and we are back with the fourth installment of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Quarantine series, and look at that high production value. Wow, incredible. I am so happy to be with you here on this fine Sunday afternoon, streamed at a time so as not to conflict with the Pro Play Tours weekend championship in which I participated. It was Cody and Cam Neal in finals in an Eldritch Mirror, and oh my gosh, it was really something. To those of you saying top 16 breakdown, it should say top 64. Camera quality 100. I'm pretty sure this actually is pretty high camera quality compared to normal. Anyway, we're about to get started. We were scheduled at 3:30. Instead, we're starting at 3:45, so I'm going to make the starting breakdown as quick as possible. Give me 1 second to just set up what I hope will be the only thing we have to discuss today, and that is, of course, the deck breakdown. All right, I'm going to send you over there in 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is what the field looks like. You can see there's 64 decks represented, and we're just a little bit, there we go, just a little bit off. It is number one representation is shocking just about no one, I'm sure. Eldritch is the most represented. This graphic was made by the fine fellas at Pro Play Games. Give it up for them. Go check out their socials where I occasionally feature. Second to Eldritch is Adamantipator, and a lot of individuals in the chat are quite mad about how I have decided to present this. 3 of those 8 Adamantipator decks are playing Gem Knight FTK in them. That said, you know, it would still be the second most represented even if we removed the nonsense. 6% of the field is on Generator. The breakout deck of the Eternity Code format got 2 huge new pieces of support, Lopter and Har, that have really skyrocketed the deck's playability. I played it to a 3-3 finish this weekend, dunked on meta all day, and absolutely got blown out by Madolche and Ryan Yu on Sky Striker. And then Mech Knight at 6%, 4 duelists, 4 radically different decks. Nothing in these decks is the same except for a very sizable Mech Knight package, but it was big enough that I decided to give it its own slice. We've also got a smattering of individuals on water. It was at 2 copies of representation last night. People could change their decks until 5 minutes ago, and a couple of individuals have also gotten their way onto the water deck. So I think there's maybe 3 or 4 people on it at this point. A couple of people on Hero, on Salad, on Unchained, and on Zodiac. Big shockers, though. 1 individual brought Dinosaur. The meta-destroying super threat that it was expected to be after the release of Argosaur. It is not, unfortunately. And then others is 41%. There are a ton of really, really interesting decks in that 41%, and I hope that we'll be able to see the one represented in the pie chart in round 1. We have a fantastic round 1 feature for you here today. I am proud to present 2 individuals playing decks that are not necessarily the best in the format. No Eldritch, no Adamantipator, but you will get your fill of those decks. Don't worry, chat, I know you're excited. Instead, we are featuring longtime bad opinion haver, CJ Alex, who, despite having played Skull Servants in a couple of these previous tournaments, is now playing Dragonmaid. So, you will get to see the combos in question marks, or in quotation marks, that Dragonmaid is capable of, and you will be able to see the combos that a top 8 deck from the recent Pro Play Tour Invitational, Pendulum, is capable of. So 2 decks that are not necessarily the most represented, but are certainly both playable in some capacity. I am in the game. We're just waiting for the second of the 2 individuals to get in as well. And as soon as that happens, I will send you over there. Do not worry about that. Let me check chat real quick. Thank you so much for the gift, PPGYGO. Dragon Link can save just about anything, can't fix it. Well, we will certainly find out because the two of these individuals are in-game, and the first round starts now. Right, so the first step in anything is to mute opponents and mute spectators. There we go. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! As it was intended to be played, and as it is being played in the Age of Quarantine, no input from either player. So, I've seen a lot of CJ Alex's specific build here. Dragonmaid, of course, does shockingly little, but when you put exactly Dragon Link combos in your deck, you're usually able to end on something competent no matter what happens. Now, you saw that Jack won the die roll, which is huge for Pendulum, trying to avenge Triff's unfortunate defeat in top 8 here. And opened Servant as well! Wow, this is a good player! They're going from Magician's Souls into a normal summoned copy of Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Oh my gosh, the material on board and the tokens that this Servant is about to end up with. So here comes Spellbook of Secrets. Of course, that will add a Spellbook of Prophecy, or of Knowledge. Prophecy, that's the one on field. And then Knowledge will send this copy of Blue Boy to the graveyard. Servant is now on 2 spells. And Pot of Desires fires it off. Now we can Servant ad nauseum. To those of you saying this is going to be a slaughter, wait till you see what CJ does on the play. Society has progressed past the need for LP, says chat. I disagree, though I do believe that the printing of LP has been a terrible consequence for the human race. No, it's the printing of Dragon LP and its consequences have been a disaster for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Format. Alright, so from this position we are of course going to set up unencumbered by hand traps, the purpose of Mythical Beast Jackal King. We are going into IP Masquerena in order to get those sweet, sweet zones. And with these two scales, a 2 and an 8, we'll be able to summon not only the Endymion, but also, no wait, just the Endymion. So this is a pretty good setup. You know, we've got Endymion, we've got IP Masquerena, we've got Jackal King, and this is going to put a token on everything. Called Targeting Endymion in Graveyard. Wow, that is fantastic. Oh, this is such a sweet setup. So CJ Alex has fired Called by the Grave, targeting the Endymion sent to the graveyard by Magician's Souls' summoning condition. That's going to negate the effect of Endymion and force out its activation this early, and then chaining in response to that the quick launch in order to get the Rocket Synchron here. So we've got one monster negate and the availability of IP Masquerena. We will normal summon Kitchen Dragonmaid and activate her effect. Do you negate this? If you know your opponent's on Rocket Combo, is it worth burning your only remaining negate on Kitchen Dragonmaid? And apparently it is. We're going to activate the effect of Jackal King, and Dragonmaid goes right to the graveyard. To those of you saying Rockets with Dragonmaid, I mean, what do you think the deck is playing? Passing on... Alright, so Dragonmaid Changeover is the activation here. And while I don't think the new fusion is out yet, we can still go into House. Yeah, House Dragonmaid, let's go! This threatens Battle Phase. It also triggers a Garuda in the hand. Oh, wow. So Garuda's effect is when your opponent normally specials a monster, you can remove 3 counters from the field, special this card from your hand, and then bounce your opponent's specialed monster, which is terrible against a fusion monster. That's going to be the end of the turn from CJ Alex, and I think the end of Game 1 as well. Well, this went just about, I think, as expected. CJ Alex, a really extremely cool setup that unfortunately did absolutely nothing in the face of multiple negates. I think we are about to see Game 2 here. Alright, so special summon of Empress of Endymion and Mythical Beast Jackal. Didn't even have to fire the IP Masquerena. That's how good I feel about this board. Alright, we're going into the second Jackal King. This is just unnecessary. Going to battle phase, and let's scoop him up, I think. Well, I certainly hope that CJ Alex is able to mount a more considerable offense in Game 2, or else this is going to make for a miserable YouTube VOD. And in terms of metrics, I just can't afford something like that. CJ Alex, check your bank account. I'm about to rig the shuffler in your favor. Alright, so obviously, Dragonmaid is capable going second. I think you would be a fool to say otherwise. It is probably the most powerful blind second build in the universe, but decks that include Rocket Link shenanigans want to go first. They want to set up a combo, lock their opponent out of the game, which is actually shockingly easy to do against Pendulum. They have pretty specific choke points, and though they can make big dunguses who attack very hard, removing their critical monsters and Pendulum scales before they're able to activate their extremely powerful effects, before they have the necessary counters on field, it is a quick move towards victory. So we're going to lead with a normal summoned Rocket Synchron, then we're going to activate Airness's effect. This card allows you to discard this card to special a Dragonmaid from your hand. The Dragonmaid we're going to special is Nurse. Next we're going to go into Romulus. Romulus is going to add a Dragon's Ravine to hand. And then we're going to activate the effect of Dragon Ravine, discarding a card called by the grave in this instance, throwing caution to the winds. I think that's completely fair against Pendulum. In order to send... Oh my gosh, what is this? Parlor? Last card in hand, Dragonmaid Hospitality allows you to special a Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard, then send a Dragonmaid monster with the same attribute. When Nurse is summoned, you can special a Dragonmaid from your graveyard, and we'll target Parlor. Parlor's effect lets you special a level 8 Dragonmaid from your graveyard. So this chain of cards has enabled an insane amount of summons. We're sending Chamber here, and then we're going into Pisty, activating its effect. I think we need LP first. Yeah. So we've got LP and Pisty. From this position, we'll activate LP in order to get Red Eyes. And then once Red Eyes is on field, we will activate its effect in order to special a dragon from, in this case, the graveyard, getting Chamber. We'll trigger Chamber in order to get a copy of Dragonmaid Changeover. Of course, this would represent a negate in the perfect build of the deck, but Strahl is not yet released. Oh, chat already going off on Pisty Gang. I expected no less from you. We'll now link off into a Saruya Skull Dread. Very profitable dragon here. Thankfully, you can still summon this while locked under the Gar Dragons, because it is a dragon. This card's extremely powerful, draws you cards, and for some reason is also the most beneficial type in Yu-Gi-Oh! Thank God it's not Chaos as well. We'll go from Pisty back into Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and enjoy this while it lasts, chat. The errata's coming soon. I thought Strahl was an Ecto. Oh, I might be incorrect. If Strahl is an Ecto, this is going to be very powerful. So we'll go from DMD into Airness, and then we'll fire off a World Legacy Gar Dragon, the pick of the saved card off of Saruya. We're summoning back this copy of Parlor, and I do not believe we have activated Parlor's effect yet. Could be wrong, however. So we're going to change over now, and there's Strahl. Chat, you were right once again. Why did I ever doubt you? Now we're going to activate Changeover's effect. We're going to put that copy of Airness back in the hand in order to add Changeover back. And fun fact, this fusion spell, not once per turn. We're going to be able to fuse the Pisty away for a House Dragonmaid as well. So this is a pretty formidable setup. We've got two beefy boys, one that's a negate and one that pops when negates happen. Strahl in the standby is going to special a Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. Looks like we're going for Nurse here. And of course, Nurse will trigger 2. This allows you to special a level 7 Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. Or level 4 or lower Dragonmaid. We'll go for Chamber. And then Chamber will trigger. And this allows the add of the Hospitality to the hand for the next turn. This is powerful. Now that these effects have triggered, House is going to be able to trigger, targeting Chamber, and then Parlor is going to be able to trigger to send, I think, the green to the graveyard. Yep, Dragonmaid Lorepar. Wow. This is crazy. Look at this. Now you activate Nibiru on your turn. How many rounds today? There's going to be 6, followed by Top Cut 2-8. So unfortunately, while this is an extremely powerful setup, it doesn't match up particularly well against Endymion's Pendulum effect. And you see the Endymion in scale right now. I think we're likely going for something like that soon. Oh wow, the Pendulum summoned this early. That's very interesting. So we're going for double Jackal King. That's going to trigger Saruya on one of them. And an instant fusion, which will put enough counters on the remainder that they'll be able to activate. Now remember, these effect negations are once per turn, but it's a soft once per turn, so you can summon one on each. Instant fusion at 1, but still very, very good in decks like this. The benefit off of spell counters, we're going to use the effect of TER. This will prompt the Strawl, but of course there's enough material on board that you'll be able to negate that effect as well. Alright, just a way to get that negation out of the way right now. And the last spell card is the Lab. Oh, wow, that's so strong. So since it's a spell, we will have the requisite material on board to fire off this Endymion. Endymion is going to special summon by removing 6 spell counters from the field, and then pop a quadrillion cards on the side of the Dragonmaid player. Wow, that's unfortunate. So that's gonna just completely wipe the board, and unless I'm miscounting, this looks like the end of the game. But oh no! No, you forgot! No! Thousand Eyes Restrict has text on it! Oh, so this card prevents other monsters from attacking or changing their battle positions. Usually does not come up because it's linked away for something, but in this specific instance it will. This Endymion negating the effect of Quick Launch, and now all we gotta get through is one Mythical Beast Jackal King activation and we could win this. Hospitality is non-negatable by this board. Wait, hold up! Okay, so while Nurse is pretty good, activating its effect is going to do very little except for prompt the Jackal King. Bringing the chamber back would be nice, but seems like it's not going to happen. Alright, and a quick surrender out of CJ Alex. Dang, shocking. Who would have thought that was the outcome? I mean, certainly not me. I expected Dragonmaid to pop all the way off, go XO, and be represented in top cut. You know, sometimes you just gotta pour one out for the individuals who registered for a tournament expecting to win a single round with this deck.